Right, greetings folks, it's been a while. Today I am with my trusty eldest son assistant. You can't see because it's actually out of the shop, but we'll have a look in a second. We are going to be putting on all this tasty white line stuff. Well, I say all of it. What we're going to be doing is certainly the rear roll bar, because that is really crusty and the car's got its MOT next Saturday, the 15th of February. So that one definitely needs to go on. Hopefully we'll get the front one done as well. A little bit easier because there's no nappy on the car, so I don't have to take any of that off. It's just a case of jack it up, wheels off. But I'm gonna cover all that, so if you're not sure what you need to do, you'll see how I do it. Whether that's the correct way or not, that's another matter, but you'll see how I do it. So let's have a look at all this kit and then we'll get out to the car, start getting some stuff fitted. Okay, so here we go. This is all the white line kit. Not these rolled. We'll talk about those separately. So I bought everything that White Line do for our MR2 Mark III. So I've got the front and rear roll bars. Now you can buy these as a pair, which is cheaper, or if you only just want to do the front or rear, they are available separately. There's the order codes on them. And there, just go on the White Line website. You can put in the car and the year, and it comes up with what all the stuff that they do for the car. Big shout out as well to Justin from White Line in the UK. He's been a really helpful chap, and I shall probably be in touch with Justin for some adjustable drop links when the springs get fitted. So other things that I've got from them are camber bolts, front and rear. Those there. These are the rear control arm bush kit. That gives you a slight change in tow, if I remember rightly, but all the details are on the website. And this is the front control arm poly bushes. So yeah, everything they did I bought because it's super quality stuff. The roll bars, they come with the brackets and all the new poly bushes as well, and a little bit of grease for that, and obviously, you know, quite a nice touch to get a few stickers if you like that sort of thing. So yeah, let's get the rear bar out. We'll actually take a look at it and see the kit you got. Now the other things I've got here, and this is a point to note if you're changing certainly the rear one, is invest in some new rear drop links. I don't know about the fronts. I have bought new fronts as well. These aren't from White Line. White Line don't do a product currently, I don't think, for the MR2. But when I spoke to White Line, they said, well, if you just measure what you need, we can, you know, spec you up some adjustable drop links. So that's probably what I'm going to do once I've got the Tyne springs on. But if my trusty assistant can just hold the camera there for me. Thank you, buddy. So the thing with these drop links is these corrode up, and the main issue, if you can just zoom in, come in a bit there, Tom. So the main issue is the inside part of that is a hex key, and you have to hold that and spin the nut off to get it off of the end part of the roll bar. Now that corrodes. Sometimes you'll get your hex key or Allen key will just spin in that, and then you're in all kinds of pain trying to get this off. So they're fairly cheap. Now I bought these from TCB Performance Parts. So shout out to Paul at TCB Performance. I'll put a link to them as well in the description. He's a really helpful chap. They do a lot of stuff for the MR2 for Mark 1, 2 and 3. And if they don't do it, and they do a lot of stock stuff, they do a lot of upgrade stuff, and they can get stuff in for you as well. So if you're looking for some stuff that perhaps White Line don't do and you can't find, then definitely give Paul at TCB Performance a shout, and he will probably most certainly sort you out. So yeah, with these, if I have a problem with these, basically we're just going to grind straight through it to get the drop link off, and then we've got the new ones to replace, so that should be job done. So we'll clear all this off, we'll unpack the rear bar, just have a quick look at that and then get outside. This is what you get in the pack. You've got the bar. Now on the ends here, you've got adjustability. It is an adjustable bar, so depending on where you fit the drop link will be how stiff the bar is. I'm probably going to set it to slightly soft or middle of the road for now, because I expect to feel a difference in this, and I haven't obviously. What I'm going to do with the car long term is once the springs are on, once all the white line kit's on, I've got the wheels on the tyres, I'm probably going to take it somewhere like Rogue Motorsport and get the geometry completely set up. And they are the experts in setting this stuff up. They build a lot of track cars, they run their own track cars, so they'll know the best positions for this to be in. I don't want to be setting it to too hard a setting and then start making the back end twitchy just in normal driving. So I'm going to go a bit conservative on that for now, and it's easily changed. So you've got the actual bar, it's powder coated silver. It is a solid bit of kit. It's certainly a lot thicker than the stock one, and although the stock one on mine's even thinner because it's so crusty with the rust. You get a little sticker kit if that's your thing. The White Line do full graphics as well, which they actually kindly sent me as part of the ambassador program, so we'll have a look at those at some point. Let me know in the comments, do you think I should graphic up the car or not? Let me know, see what you think. Something I'm thinking about. You get the poly bushes, and they're you ain't got to mess around with them, they just sort of slide on there. You reuse the existing bracket on the car and the bolts. You get some grease for the bushings. And there are some general fitting instructions, and if you see here, for example, where the bars are adjustable, it gives you some idea about the setting and which bolt you might want to use, that kind of thing. So that's all the stuff, let's get out there, we'll get the old one off, get this one fitted up, hopefully without any issues, and see how we go.
I don't know how high it'll go, but not high enough.
Okay folks, so we've got the wheel off here, zoom out a bit, here we go. Right, so we've got the wheel off, and this is the drop link which we're replacing, and then this here is the anti-roll bar which comes around. You can see there's the bracket and there's an ident. Oh, let's just get a bit better under here. So this is the bracket here. You can do it from the back or you can do it from here, but it's just the two bolts there. So this is the new drop link, and that replaces this one here. And in actual fact, this one looks a little bit more chunky than this one. But just to show you how it comes off. So this, you'll need a 5mm Allen or hex socket or wrench, and a 14mm spanner. Spanner over the nut, hold that and wind the nut off, and that's the same top and bottom on both sides. Now the issue people have is they're going for it in there, and we'll see how we get on with this. They're holding this, they're trying to spin that off, things round off because they're old, they're crusty, and you get into a world of hurt. So because I'm replacing everything, what I would essentially do is, all I've actually got to undo is this top link here and the bolts underneath, and the rest of it will just withdraw out from the car. But obviously if you're replacing just the bolt and you're leaving the drop links in, you need to take off you need to take off just that one, or if you're replacing the whole lot. You get my drift. That's what you need. 5mm Allen, 14mm spanner. Right, so as a lot of owners have reported, I can't get an Allen key in the back of that, it's just too corroded. So rather than fight it, trusty angle grinder in here, and I'm just going to cut through Now, if you're going to do this, obviously eye protection, you know, take care of your safety. You want some gloves. You might want to consider covering lines and things. I'm not going to go like totally mad so it sets fire to something, but just be careful, because obviously if you cut through that, that's your ABS sensor, and then you just don't need the aggro. Okay, so there we go. We'll just punch that through, and then I'm pretty much going to do the same as the other side. It's probably going to be the same sort of scenario, just a lot quicker. A bit brutal, yeah, maybe, but I'll probably just save myself 2 hours of my life each side. So I ended up grinding off this side as well. The Allen key would fit in, but the head of the bolt, or the studs that it goes into, was just so corroded it just was rounding off and it wouldn't come off. So it's been ground off now. The bar itself now, it's the 4 bolts, the 2 bolts for each bracket, and then that whole assembly will be off, and then we can get the new one up. Looking under the car, that's the bracket you're looking at, and there's one on each rail. So that's a 14mm bolt, and take those out, and then the whole assembly will drop down. Okay, so here we are. It's the old one out and the new one behind it. It's pretty crusty. You can see that the new bar compared to the old one is quite a bit thicker, and obviously you have the 4 adjustable mounting points. So I didn't need to drop the exhaust or anything to get this out. Even though the drop links are still attached to the end, you can snake it out quite easily. It comes out. You put a little bit of the grease, sort of pack it in there so that can move around on there quite happily, and then we'll bolt that up. White Line actually also do a couple of clamps that you can fit to the bar either side to stop any lateral movement of the bar. I might actually buy them at some point. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have bought them at the time. I didn't realise, I thought they came as part of this kit, but they don't, so that's something to bear in mind. I'm not sure how much they are, but they are on their website if you want them. Close up over, so it's just an extra thing to stop the sideways movement of the bar. So let's get the bar up, and then we'll get the drop links in. Got the new drop link in. I've put it in. I've spun the nut on the back, and I've got a ratchet spanner here because that'll be quicker. Now what I've done is, because there's quite a recess behind the back of the strut leg, when the car's jacked up and the hub is just dropped, it brings this bracket lower, so it brings it out of this scooped out area into the wall, and it gives you far less room to be able to move around. So I've just put the jack underneath the knuckle of the hub, just jacked it up a little bit, and it's just given me much better access to be able to work behind the strut. So I've got the Allen key on the back, so I'm going to hold that, and then we're just going to, I've already sort of snugged it up, so we're just going to tighten this up as much as we sort of can. And then what I am going to do is, when this is all together, is I'm just going to put a blob of grease into that Allen key head recess to stop that corroding up. And I think what I'll do is, every time I do an oil change or a service on the car, I'll just check that and make sure there's a bit of blob of grease in there. So if I need to take these off at any time, then I can do that quite happily. And that's one drop link on ready. I'll do the same for the other side, and then we'll put the roll bar on. So it comes with high performance bushing lubricant, so we just put that on the inside of there so it's not binding up. Do that each side, and then we can a bit on that one. I'll go. Okay. So there's one there. And you can see the goop there splurging out. That's fine. take some of that off. Okay, and then we get it bolted up.
Go.
Okay, so we are done. New roll bars in and the new drop links. As always with these things, it did take longer than I expected, even with faffing around cutting off the drop link. I've set it to the sort of the second position in here, and as I say, once I've got the other suspension components done and that's all fitted, I shall take it to someone like Rogue to undertake the geometry. So I hope you found this video useful. We're going to move on now and have a look at what the wheels are going to look like, which will be in a different video. So don't forget, hit the like, hit the dislike if you suck, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.